In my years pastoring, it's one of the more difficult and heart-wrenching counseling sessions to have is with someone, male or female, who has been devastated by their mate and is in the initial pain and anguish of that. And there are a variety of deep and hurtful emotions that just cycle through and through and through in a person that goes through that experience. Whether they did or not, there is, I did something wrong. This is my fault. Even in situations where it's nowhere near your fault. What's wrong with me? It's devastating. And in that relationship of marriage that is intended by God and created by God to be the most intimate, the closest relationship that a human being can have with anyone except the Lord God Almighty, and then to have that torn apart, to have that lost, that trust for one another broken. It's devastating. Some of you in this room have experienced that devastation. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, in this world today, everyone in this room knows someone who has known that devastation. It's an amazing thing that in one generation in America, from my generation, my parents' generation, and my childhood generation, to my children's childhood and my adult generation, the amount of broken families, the amount of single-parent families, not due to death, but due to divorce. It's astounding. I was a senior in high school the first time I met someone and knew someone my age who was living in a single-parent home, whose parents had been divorced. And I didn't live out in Nowheresville in the country. I lived in McCandless, here in the Pittsburgh area. My graduating class was 650 kids. So it wasn't that there weren't many people around. It was that was not the norm in the 50s and 60s. In one generation, it flipped to my kids had a hard time thinking of people who were not living as in a single-parent home or not with their biological father and mother living in the same place. It's that fast. And that devastation is so deep and so hard. It is the nature of God to restore those who have been deserted and desolated. If you have felt deserted, desolated by the Lord, Lord, where are you? Why have you left me? Know the nature of God is to restore those. To restore. That's who He is.